I just met my fiance's cousin, and realized that she's an old flame of mine, but what's worse is that her kid looks identical to me, so could I be the dad? My fiancée, Emma, and I have been together for 3 years. She's actually my first serious girlfriend since middle school. I will honestly admit I've been a complete piece of crap with women for most of my teens and 20s and pretty much used women. I'm saying all this to explain how promiscuous I was in the past. Emma knows about my past and she's grown to accept it. We met at work and she hated me because she saw right through me, and after pursuing her for close to a year she finally agreed to a date and the rest is history. We've been living together for 2 years now, and I've grown incredibly close to her parents too, and she also loves my family. The past 3 years have been the best of my life, and I'm so excited to spend the rest of my life with her. This weekend her cousin and her family are in town. She's really close with her cousin Grace. Miracle I haven't met her yet. I was always busy for one reason or another the few times she's visited in the last 3 years. So I finally met Grace and her husband for dinner at Emma's parents' place. She immediately stares at me a bit wide-eyed and I can't help but think she looks familiar. We're all being introduced to each other and Grace for the most part seems to be acting normally, but she's still staring at me whenever she can. Emma's parents then come in with Grace's little boy who's 5 years old. I'm looking at this kid and Grace and the only thing I can think of is that this boy looks like a carbon copy of me at his age with some Grace mixed in. I'm suddenly starting to remember that I took Grace home from a bar close to 6 years ago. And I also remember convincing her not to use defense against future children. I'm just a sweaty nervous mess for the rest of dinner and I think Grace realizes from how she looked at me and the boy that maybe I realized too. And an even more messed up part, I think Grace was visiting Emma the weekend I took her home. They probably had a girls' night out that weekend with their friends and I took Grace home. So Emma was probably at the same bar that night. Emma asked me if I was okay and I just told her I wasn't feeling well. I didn't go to work yesterday and today and just took sick days. I don't know what to do. Grace obviously isn't saying anything. I have no clue if she was married at the time and I don't want to ask Emma because I don't want her getting suspicious about me asking. I don't even know how I feel about possibly being a father. I'm 95% sure this kid is mine, look nothing like the husband. Do I just shut up? I never cheated on Emma obviously, but she knows how much of a player I was and it took her a while to get past my number. I don't know how she'd react if she knows I knocked up her cousin years before knowing her. This is vain and superficial about Emma and I love her to death, but she absolutely hates if something is considered trashy or low class. I honestly think it's possible she'd leave me if I knocked up her cousin. I can't lose her, she's literally the best thing that's ever happened to me. What do I do? Relevant comments.
Most of the commenters on this are men. I'm a 52-year-old woman. The number one most important thing in a relationship for me, and for all of the women I know, is trust. Honesty, trust, and having each other's backs. This is why women sometimes can't forgive cheating. It's not the thrusts, it's the breach of trust. If you were my boyfriend or husband, I would want you to put me first before Grace, meaning, literally, come to me first. Like, I have to tell you something that's really stressing me out. You know how I told you I had a lot of irresponsible drunken nights a few years ago? When I met Grace the other night she looked really familiar. I'm so ashamed to tell you this, but I am pretty sure I hooked up with her. I'm not sure if she recognized me, but I think she might have. I felt like she was looking at me strangely. I was so stressed out about it I lied to you and said I felt sick. Well, that wasn't really a lie because I wanted to puke, and I'm still completely sick about this. I can't bear to lose you, but I can't lie to you and not tell you about this. Please help me figure this out, what I should do. Then let her go through all the stages of figuring this out with you. Let her say OMG, is that your kid, while you put your face in your hands and moan. If you do what all these guys are suggesting, and try to do damage control, and go talk to Grace behind your girlfriend's back, you are completely screwed. It's not the crime, it's the cover-up. If you talk to Grace, figure out you are the bio father, and then drop the whole story on your girlfriend, there is no way in hell she will ever believe that you just figured this out now. She will feel doubtful about what you knew when you knew it, how you feel about Grace, when you last slept with Grace, etc., etc. If you want a life with Emma, go to Emma and ask for her help. If she dumps you, she is only dumping you for something you already told her about, your past behavior, and if she got over it once, she might even get over it again. Right now you are in the most forgivable, least guilty position possible. You have never lied to Emma about your past and you aren't going to start now. You did not turn your back on your child, or the mother of your child. You did not know. If this kid was your baby, you weren't informed at the time. If Emma and Grace are close, and Grace did have a pregnancy and conceal it from the bio father, Emma may know all about it and may be aware the bio father wasn't notified. Oscar Wilde once said, ignorance is like a delicate flower. Touch it, and the bloom is off. Women are insanely perceptive of micro-expressions on their partner's face. If you find out anything, and hide it from her for 24 hours while you think about it, she will already feel in her bones you are lying and don't trust her. She is probably still wondering what the fridge was going on with you at the party. If you do anything else besides go to Emma first, you are most likely done for. Trust that your partner can love you enough to get through this with you. Tell her ASAP before Grace comes forward and says something. If by any chance Grace is passing your bio kid off as her husband's bio kid, she may try taking some defensive actions, who knows what. Or maybe Grace will tell your girlfriend it's you, and that's why you acted sick at the party. OMG. Don't roll the dice. Go to her, throw yourself on her mercy, and ask for her help.